Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I'm sharing something that is a little different than what I normally talk about here, but there's a purpose. And overall, it is very much witchy adjacent. And also, I just kind of want to share it to give other people ideas if this is something that you're really if this sticks out to you, maybe you want to do the same thing. So, um, this is definitely a TikTok inspiration. So, over on TikTok, a lot of people are doing this thing where they're basically building a curriculum. For some people, it's a monthly thing, they're doing this every month. I took a different approach and decided to do this like a college curriculum, like a semester of college. So, because I'm me. So basically, yeah. So basically, it's for personal growth. I'm giving myself homework, assignments, and everything. So I have four topics that I'm working on, or four, yeah, four things that I'm studying. So this could be anything you want it to be, by the way. So um, I got it from TikTok essentially. So I just want to tell you that I got it from TikTok, and it was kind of rumbling around in my mind, and I was like, I want to, how can I make this my own and do it my own way? So I figured a monthly was just too much. The semester makes more sense. Um, but if you could design your own semester, what would you study? So this is how I started. If I was designing my own semester, and I'm a former homeschooling mom, so I used to design custom curriculums for each of my kids because they had different paths they were on, and they learned differently, and they were different ages, so they had customized curriculum. So I just took the same approach and applied it to me. Um, I will tell you this. I'm extra. I designed a real syllabus, a weekly plan, and my books. So like I'm for real with it. Like I took it to the next level. But why am I doing this? So I just one, I love learning. I don't want to stop learning. I could take a course online. I could do a free course. I could probably take a couple classes at the local college too, the community college. And maybe eventually if something sparks enough interest, I might take that route. But for now, um, I love learning and I enjoy reading, and there's some things I'd like to have more structure with. I want more structure basically in my personal learning and in my witchcraft practice. So that's what this is about, my desire for structure. um, this also keeps me accountable. At this stage in my life, I legit, if you were to test me, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. Um, yeah, I have to have notes now. Like the way I do videos, the way I do things, it's because I have ADHD. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. And I want to meet myself where I'm at. I need to have accountability, and I need a formal, like I said, structure. But the accountability helps me to follow my passions, not to punish me. I don't see it as a negative. It just helps me stay, keep it together so I can actually study the things I'm passionate about. And obviously, I must have missed having homework. Not really, but I'm doing that. And the tie into witchcraft is that magic isn't just about spells, it's also what you feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. If, okay, so we're about to go into a tangent about this. I want you to really think about this. If you are someone who just consumes the equivalent of junk food TV, not that there's anything wrong with it, junk food content, the only thing you like, the messier, the better, reality shows, you don't read very much. If you do, you're reading a blog about celebrity gossip. Um, you're engaged very much in celebrity gossip, everything from A-list to D-list celebrities. Like you're in it. And listen, I love a good, session where we talking about what's going on with everybody else. I enjoy that as well. There is absolutely no judgment. But if that is becoming more of your primary, way more than anything else. You're not like learning anything else else, like that's kind of encompassing a lot of your media and the things outside of work or anything else. And listen, we can call it escapism, but if it takes root and it's kind of the main focus, when you go to do stuff like magic and practice spells and do your rituals and things like that, what have you been feeding your spirit? What have you been feeding your mind? And then from a holistic approach, what are you feeding your body? If you are not fueling yourself in a way like as simple as, are you drinking enough water? The way you physically function, listen, it's not just about the magic and nothing else matters. Yes, it does. The whole being, you, all of this matters in what you're putting, that's your energy. And if you don't have enough energy because you're not fueling yourself, whether it's with your body or your mind, it affects your spirit. It affects what you are, getting out of your magic and your spell work and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to keep feeding your mind. It's good to feed yourself with something that you can work with, that you can transmute and turn it into anything. That's all you're doing when you're eating and when you're reading and you're listening to music and media and all that sort of stuff. You're fueling yourself. I'd like to fuel myself, and it doesn't mean I don't have junk food occasionally. It just means that it's not primary. Okay, rant over. So let me get into the areas of my semester. So first of all, I'm going into, I just wanted to study more about universal law and manifesting. So I had this book on my shelf, and I'm going to start over and I'm going to approach this differently. So this is kind of the leading thing in that, this is, I haven't gotten that far into it, so this is great for the study. I'm going to approach this from an academic point of view. This is important for transformation and honestly setting the tone for my semester. This is going to be helpful. So I'm going to tell you, because this is my syllabus that I have. I have the syllabus. It's called Elite Taken University Self-Study Semester. And it is called Manifestation, Magic, and Mastery of Personal Enrichment Curriculum. All right. So my course, the credits are infinite personal growth. So how I have this set up on my weekly schedule, so weeks 1 to 3. So this is a 15 weeks course, or courses. So the universal laws and manifesting. This is the first one. So I'm going to read this book. I'm going to journal. I'm going to chart examples, and I'm going to start a 7-day manifestation experiment based off of this. So it's not just reading, it's reading and doing, because you got to do the same. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot because I'm going to give you guys some information. So this is the first course that I'm working on. And to take it a step further, because I told you all I was extra, so I got my syllabus here, but this is also something else that I printed. So I created a weekly planner. So basically for week 1, focus area, required reading, assignments, projects, practice experiments, notes, and reflection. So for each week, I have something to write this on. So I'm going to put this in a binder and have that. I also, by the way, my midterm is a reflection paper, which I'm actually weirdly excited to write, a reflection paper on connections between the subjects. That happens in week 8. And then my final project is create a capstone integrating all subjects. So ritual, maybe a sign or paper. So I'll decide that on the back end. I warned, I'm a little extra. All right. So the other thing is I want to get into vegan and vegetarian cooking more, specifically baking. But I did go to the library. Spoiler, you're going to want to go to the library for if you want to do something like this, because you kind of, yeah. So the books that I wanted, they didn't have at the library, and I didn't want to go out and just buy a bunch of books. So one book that I really was looking forward to, I want the emphasis more on baking, but I'm okay with just in general. So I got this one. Let me get this out. I got this one. Sweet Potato Soul. I've been wanting to get her book. I got this at the library. I'll decide after I get into it if I'm going to actually purchase it. But this is what I suggest that you do, because maybe some things won't make sense. So, it's colorful, it's beautiful. And the goal is not just to read and get the recipes. It is, but it isn't. Yeah, there's more to it. So for this one, and let me show you the other book, Plant Pure Comfort Food. This is the other one that I got from the library. Let me get that out. Yeah, I got it from the library. So these are my, this particular unit of study is vegan and vegetarian, emphasis on baking. But my goal is to bake 3+ recipes, adapt one, create my own recipe with flavor variation. So the goal is not just to follow a recipe. I want to be able to make and create my own recipe um, based on me following the recipes here and learning to adapt that and change things out. I have a whole breakdown for myself on how to do this, on what weeks and all that sort of stuff. But this is my blank sheet that I'll be writing it on. So this is to get me started. All right, so I got this. Where am I putting these books when I'm done? I don't know. They're all over. All right, moving on. So then, herbalism. Okay, I have tried and tried and tried and tried. So we're going to try again. I don't like to give up. I'm going to try and try one more time. So this book I was able to get off of Kindle, gratefully. It's called Herbal Contraindications and Drug Interactions plus Herbal Adjuncts with Medicines. There is a siren in the background. Sorry if you hear that. This is the book. Oh, you probably can't see it. Sorry. The lighting, my bad. But it's, yeah, I got this. It's this is a Kindle, so it was $0 on Kindle. So I'm gonna start with this. I have a good amount of information already because I've been working on, studying or herbal magic essentially. But the emphasis is on safety, because I want to be responsible with it. Yeah, that's basically why. I do take some medications. I want to make sure I'm not hurting myself. And if I'm recommending to somebody else, I want to make sure, I'm not putting them in any sort of danger. So that's the focus of this. And I'll be taking extensive notes, having, notebooks. My intention is to learn to sketch a little bit more with this, my version of the sketches, and really study and learn. And I'm going to take a semester to do so. So my notes on this is, I'm going to make flashcards for 10 herbs with uses and the contraindications. I'm going to research 3 Arizona herbs and design a safe herbal tea blend. So that's the main bit, like my assignments. And this occurs between week 7 and 9. You see how I'm doing this? I'm staggering it. Then there's, this is how I said I do it, but I'm actually going to do a little something every week. Moving on. So that's that one. Now, there's other things that I could work with, other books and things like that. I'll get to it. But right now, this is where I'm starting. The other thing is Arizona culture. So I'm going to map out 5 sacred sites. I'm going to compare an indigenous ritual with a modern pagan ritual. And I'm going to visit a museum or a heritage site. So I want to understand. I've talked about wanting to understand the land more, and I mean it. So one of the books that I got in this realm is something called Oak Flat, A Fight for Sacred Land in the American West. I got this at the library. So I'm going to be reading this and taking copious notes, as well as this is something I'll probably have to take a stretch out, and I may have to purchase a book if there's not more at the library. And I haven't mixed in media or anything like that, but we're going to work from this, and then I'll do research. I have to go to a museum. That's part of it. Okay. So the other thing is academic magic. Stay with me. So what is academic magic? So basically, I'm going to be able to compare academic versus practitioner perspectives. I'm going to test one theory in a small ritual, and I'm going to write a final reflection. So what the heck am I talking about? So let me get to basically this is where history. Now there were some suggestions, but they I saw on Amazon, but those were very pricey, and I'm not going to do that. So I have some history books that I'm going to work with. I also have something that I want to work with, and this is called How to Study Magic. I reviewed this book. I'm going to be using this as a reference point because there was some information in here that led me to other things, other books. So I'm going to start here with this book. That's the first. I actually have a book on my Kindle as well. I'm going to see if I can grab that before I keep going. Where is it? Where are you? I thought I had it locked and loaded. I did not. Um. Oh, the other one was the A Witch's World of Magic. Expand your practice with technique traditions from diverse cultures. So this is another one. This is on my Kindle. I already have this, but I never finished it. My intention is to really read this and work it from like I said, an academic point of view. And then the other places that I'll go, this is with a little bit more. So I have the African Myths and Legends book. The goal is not to read the entire book. I'm going to sparse certain stories and write that down and, my ideas about that. And then I have, this is from Barnes& Noble, Myths and Legends. This is another book that talks about classical Greek, Celtic, Norse, Chinese, African, Native American, and more. So that this is going to be a crossover, the Native American portion to getting into my understanding of Arizona as well. But yeah, so these are my books. Insky said, I like that your final projects are mainly reflections. I can literally feel myself deflate from hearing final. I know, right? Reflections. Like I'm doing it. I'm not trying to make, the goal is not to upset myself. The goal is to really learn and use this as a vehicle, to learn and to structure it so I learn more. But yeah, so one of the books that I was looking at is called Magic, Witchcraft, and the Other World: The Myth of Disenchantment and Magus or something. That was a little pricey when I looked at it. So I was like, I think I can get enough information out of these books and not have to do that. Um, but I want to test some things out that I gleaned from this. So anyway, that's my point or rationale behind it. But yeah, ultimately, the final is just like an integration of all this. So I would turn what I'm thinking loosely is I'll turn this into one, like everything into a ritual with the food. There's food involved. There's going to be, it's basically just think like ceremonial type magic offerings of the food, everything. I'm turning like I think it will just be a big ritual, and I'll be happy to share that with you guys on the back end. So it's a 15-week course. So I'll be checking in. I'm going to share this journey with you all if you're interested. Um, but yeah, this is how I'm setting it up. This is my jam. I love stuff like this. So where am I keeping my notes and where am I doing all that? Well, the main thing that my planner is what I have. Now, what I would suggest, and I know people are real funky about this, the girlies on TikTok suggested it as well. A lot of people just took it to chat GPT to help devise a syllabus. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. If you are familiar enough with school, you probably don't need the help. You remember. It's been a very long time since I've had to plan a curriculum. My youngest person who I homeschooled, he graduated high school in 2017. And I stopped homeschooling him in 2016. He actually, his final year, he went to a high school. So he had the high school experience, first 12th grade. So I stopped 2016. So yeah, that's the last time. And so that means I planned a curriculum in 2015. So it's been 10 years since I've been in that world, and even longer since I've been a student in any sort of formal capacity outside of taking some courses or something like that. This is different. This is the equivalent of a college semester. The irony, and not irony, but the fun fact is, I was on a college campus yesterday, helping the youngest one. He's out of the military and he's going to be going, to college now that he's out, and he's still young. He went in young. So we were on a campus yesterday, and it really fueled this. And I was like, oh my God. I love academia. I love learning. I love being a nerd. It is my personality. It has always been since I was younger. It doesn't offend me. I love that about myself. I love being a nerdy girl. My goal was to raise nerdy children. I wanted them to be just as nerdy as me. You don't have to be in the same things as I am, but whatever you are, I want you to be just nerdy about it. I want you to know all the things. And I did, in fact, raise two very functional, well-adjusted people, and I love that for me. But anyway, so yeah, so my main thing, I'll be keeping track again with my little study tracker that I have. And like I said, I'll have notes. There is one other thing that I do want to focus on, and I realized I didn't grab the book. I'm about to grab it in a second. This is actually more for, I guess, what you call self-development. I bought this book and I started and stopped, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity. This is like an elective, I guess I'm calling it. Let me show you guys. Hold on. The fact that it's already on the bookshelf. So the book is called Know Your Worth. Angie Belmar wrote this book. It's a beautiful book too. So this is the book. She calls it a workbook, and it's basically, as she says here, this book is divided into two powerful sections. The first part helps you gain a new level of confidence by shedding the labels that have held you back. We'll then catch the code on productivity, or crack the code, not catch, crack the code on productivity by creating your ultimate daily glow up routine. This is getting into like the outside as well. In the second half, the focus is on financial success. So this is what I meant, like well-rounded, elective. You'll learn to release the negative relationships with money, get unstuck, and silence your inner critic that feeds imposter syndrome, something I've struggled with. Discover how to tap into your income potential with marketing and content plans. Hello. We'll guide you in creating multiple streams of income and building your side hustle. By the end of this journey, you'll have a newfound glow and incredible clarity on how to make all your dreams come true. This is the book. It's called Know Your Worth. Now, she says you can write in this. I don't want to write in the book. So she sells these inserts. She makes planners, goals planners. And again, Angie Belmont. This is one of her covers that I have. Isn't this adorable? I love this for me. Anyway, but I bought the, it says Know Your Worth 31-day challenge. So this is going to be happening concurrently. So these are like the inserts that I put into my planner, and I'll write in here. So it matches the book. So this is something that I'll be doing. And again, I'm a little extra, so I'm going to have a fun book with like, this is who I am. I can't contain myself. This is it. So anyway, this is sort of my elective thing that I'm working on as well. I'm very excited for me about that. So that is pretty much it. It's a college semester. So of course there's multiple things that I'm doing. Again, 15 weeks divided into, initially I started thinking I'm going to divide it into a 3-week focus blocks, as opposed, but see, this is where the ADHD comes in. I'm thinking I kind of want to do a bit of everything at the same time, but I might need to stay on track onto the main thing. One, they're library books. I could always renew them. We'll see. I think some of these I'm going to kind of layer them and do some of it every week. We'll see. I'm still working that out. I'm trying to make it easy for myself and not freak myself out, because in the midst of all of this, I'm going to be writing another book. So yeah, there's that. That I'm going on. And this will be my first work of fiction that I'll be writing. What is on me? Oh, the lip gloss. Oh, the cheat one happened. Anyway, but yeah, that's this is it. So I'm already that's six things. One, some things are going to end before the other ones. But if I stagger it, then I'm giving myself 15 weeks to do this. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This is who I am. This is how I get down. Anyway, so that's it. But I'm giving myself plenty of time to get all this done. Um, I so if you wanted to do this, start with why. Ask yourself why. Um, why do you want to do this? So what do you, and then what? What do you want to do? What do you want to learn? I would say pick 3 to 5 focus areas, choose 1 to 2 books per topic, and then just create like a simple breakdown with activities and assignments. Treat it like a commitment to yourself. It gets serious when you put money into it for a lot of us. So maybe you need to invest money. Maybe you need to buy a book as opposed to, not all the book, not everything, because I'm not trying to send you on that. But maybe you really need to, the investment could be the purchase of the book. Or maybe it's notebooks or, a new grimoire or something that you're going to write everything in. But try this, the purpose that's you're going to ask yourself that, what's the purpose of all this? But for me, it's because I want more structure. Now I want to get into something else. It's a sneak peek of something that I've been working on. So much so that I haven't, I basically took the summer off on my other channel and haven't posted anything. And life has been lifing. So I haven't, posted regular or come on here as regular, and this is why. So this is my proof copy. So a sneak peek. This is called the Witchy Activity Book. I created a very real witchy activity book / workbook. It is not a simple coloring book. I didn't make that. It is not just the same things being repeated and you just answering the same prompts based on like the full moon or the moon cycles. This is a legit book of witchy activities. So I'm going to read the back. This is my proof copy. And my final edits are in. This is going to market. It's going to be available on Amazon. Eventually I'll be selling this on the TikTok shop and of course through my website leaptaken.com. It's not there yet. We're still in review. But yeah, this is my baby. This is the actual cover, minus this bar. But this is my actual cover. And this is her on the back. So she's purple. So unlock your magic 1 page at a time. Step into a world of spells, symbols, and self-discovery with the Witchy Activity Book. Your enchantment companion for deepening your craft in fun, creative, and soul-nourishing ways. Inside these pages, you'll find journal prompts, because yes, to awaken your inner witch, tarot spreads and divination trackers, lunar ritual templates and spell pages. There are some coloring pages, cutout crafts. Yes, cutout because I'm a paper craft girly. And grimoire extras, witchy how-tos, correspondence charts, and seasonal guides, magical puzzles, meditations, and manifesting games. So whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just starting your journey, this beautifully designed workbook invites you to play, explore, and conjure a little magic each day so you can decorate it, bless it, and make it yours because your path is powerful and it deserves to be celebrated. Are you ready to enchant your everyday life? So, if you were curious what's inside, first of all, I'm going to go straight to the back because at the end of everything, you get a certificate of achievement for completing the book. Thank you. So I just want to tell you that. So we'll start there. So when you get into it, the book, and I'll be doing a full flip through, but you start here. It's color. So there's a lot of information. There's quizzes. We jump right into fun quizzes and things like that. Like, oh, which witch are you? And there's answers and there's places to write and there's so much in which descriptions. We jump right into setting intentions and you build things out. This is a doing book. I talk too much stuff to be not having you do something when you're reading this. And then, we have, with a twist, glossary terms. I love this for me. And then we have fun quizzes like matchup, and you answer questions. There's a lot of breakdown in here. Let me just take you to this is something you color. This book is not about just coloring. That's not the point. Then I give you an opportunity to cut things out. So this would be your witch's creed that you would write, but I give you examples as well. So you have like the blank page on the back because you can cut that out if you want. And then I give you examples as well. And you can sign and date this one, or you can have this one. Correspondence pages again. We get into that. Again, more information, herbs. Oh, we're covering everything in here. So many different things. So many crystal correspondences. There's you for the witch who wants to learn, but you have a hard time reading, big books like what I was talking about, like reading a big book like that. You just can't do that. This is your friend. You're going to get the relevant information about being a witch in here. A witchy activity book. That's the point. I go into color magic. There is something I want to tell you about how this book builds. You're building as you go. So we start with something. You're like, I thought we already talked about altars. We did, but we didn't talk about it from this particular aspect. Now we're going to talk about, you learned about color magic. So let's talk about using that with your altar. Imagine if you are just working with a specific color on your altar. So you wanted to work with red, passion. So when you go to your altar, there's a certain element that's present because of the colors. And I'm building on that with you. So there's a buildup. There's a will of the year quest in here as well. There's opportunities for you to create something as well. I guide you. It's guided. You're not on your own. We have our moon phase tracker. Again, opportunities to color. Then we have plan a spell using planetary hours. There is so much. Yes, there's Sabbath rituals and recipes in here as well. Let me get that off of here. I'm getting alert. Sorry. Anyway, so we have that going on as well. Yes, again, some coloring opportunities and cut out pieces, but it's not like a lot. Then we have these fun pages for spell records. Oh my God, there's shadow work stuff in here. Manifesting, new moon manifesting. We have self-care. There's some recipes. There's sample spells. There's draw your own oracle cards opportunity. There is so much. It's a basic ritual template, which is runes. Then I tell you, like, you can work magic with the book if you want. I love this page. This is probably my favorite page. This is where it says, what story about yourself are you still carrying that's weighing you down? The point is to write this down and rip this page out. I give you instructions on how to rip the page out, and this is like the ritual on this page and what to do. So and again, opportunities for coloring. But you notice this is not a coloring book. Not at all. New moon manifestations. We have, we're asking questions, and for, you're reading and you're going to write freely and journal, and there's opportunities to journal in here as well. And to do stuff, cut stuff out, create your ideal day. Like, there is so much in this book. It's not a little book. It's kind of thick. This is over 150 pages. Minimal blank pages. The only blank pages are for the back of things that you're going to cut out. But this is like a legit book for you to work in. So this is my little masterpiece I've been working on, and I think she's adorable. And I love this book so much. So I will, you'll see more as, I'll talk about it more. There's going to be more to come, but I wanted to give a little sneak peek at the witchy activity book that is going to be available very, very soon. I'll of course be doing like a genuine flip through of the book, and I'll have all that soon. But yeah, that has been a labor of love for me, of creating engaging pages in this book that someone wants to do. And coming from beginner or somebody, if you're a witch and you just want to work something, and you know, this could be what you work. So this is my curriculum. I am so proud of myself that I put this together and that I got all these resources. I'm grateful that I have them, and I already have so many books, so I can kind of get started. This is not like something, I mean, if more things come, I'll look into it. But like, yeah, I'm kind of psyched about doing all this and putting it all together. So yeah, this also keeps you from scrolling. If you don't like how much time you're spending online, if you feel like you're on these apps too much, you're on that phone too much, it's, put the phone down and start reading some stuff and start writing some stuff and start doing some stuff. And honestly, this could also be your curriculum if you want. You could approach it that way. On that same vein, if you're interested, I also sell these books of shadows. These are not activity books. So this is the book of shadows for the Love Witch. I sell her. This is something you could definitely make into your own personal curriculum. Just follow along. And she's also a thick book. Then we have the Hoodoo Grimoire, same deal. You can take that information, and the point is to keep going and fill the blank pages. All of these are half text, half blank pages. That's the point. It's your grimoire. I just get you started with some information on your path. And then this is the Book of Shadows for the Hearth Witch. Same deal. Get you started, read through, and then finish the journey. So you can take that approach with this as well if you were looking for some help. These books are available on my website, leaptaken.com, Amazon, and the TikTok shop. And she will eventually be there as well. So yes, this is it. This is what I wanted to share. And I don't really know how I'm going to do the updates. I know I'll be getting my content together to start getting back on track with Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch, because like I said, I took a hiatus from that. But my goal is to start, because, well, we're coming up on spooky season. So I'm definitely, and my phone's ringing. We're coming up on spooky season, and I definitely want to put that journey, because that's a vlog style. I'll be, decorations and, being a cottage witch during that time, and, all the fun stuff about that, hearth witchery and all that. And, that's also going to be a place where I get to kind of flex a little bit of my, skills with the baking, vegan baking and things like that. So, I can show like how to enchant once I master some things. I can bake. Vegan baking is something different. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a different approach. Vegan baking. So I got to understand like egg substitutes, dairy substitutes, what makes more sense, oat milk, soy milk, almond milk, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, y'all get what I'm saying? There's a science to this, there's a technique, and I need to better understand that component, because baking is science, and I would like to understand from a non-dairy approach, or animal product, and butter, that's another thing, and the butter aspect, like, and eventually I want to start, being able to make my own items as well, my own nut milks. I know how to do cashew cream, and I can make a sauce and stuff like that with cashews. But I also, because I've made like vegan fettuccine Alfredo, stuff like that. But I also like make a cream and like puddings and that sort of stuff as well. Icing, vegan. Y'all get what I'm saying. Anyway, but that's the point. I want to learn. Will I master it? No, but I will learn enough. I shared my goals. My goals are not crazy. I'm going to learn to bake 3 recipes. I'm going to learn to adapt one and create my own. That's doable in my study. So the way I initially mapped it out, I'm giving myself 2 2 weeks. So on weeks 4 through 6, I would be doing the vegan stuff. If I stay to this, I'm still on the fence how I'm going to approach this. Um, for the first 3 weeks, I would be studying universal laws and manifesting. I think I can overlap this. We'll see. It's my first time doing it like this. I don't know. I'm used to having concurrent classes, in college. So not like taking it like this, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. I may modify this and do overlap. I think the more I think about it, I'm gonna overlap it. But anyway, yay for me. And the herbs, I've made it simple. 10 herbs. I just need to know the details of 10 herbs. That's my objective. I'm not trying to learn every herb in the world. And then I can, after I'm done with this course of study, I can do the next one and I can learn 10 more. You see what I mean? So, yeah. Or I will take those 10 herbs and build some sort of mastery with it. And my goal is just to be able to design a safe herbal tea blend. Okay? So it's simple. And the magic element, of course, the academic magic, is to end with final reflections. It's my personal enrichment. I'm not looking to test. Testing is doing, but I digress. So let me know if anybody's interested in doing something like this. I'm still tweaking. I thought I was good, but the more I look at it, I'm going to probably tweak my curriculum a little bit for the overlap. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll keep you guys up to date about this. But you should try something. Do your own, even if it's just one class or one course of study. Give it a try. You might like it. So I'm going to end here. I just wanted to hop on and talk about this. And, I'll, in the midst of all of this, I'll still be doing my book reviews and, for Fridays, or, product reviews, or, media, I should say, witchy review. But the witchy review, I'm thinking I'm going to be taking this in a little bit of, I'll keep that, but I'll be probably tweaking that as we go in to the fall. I'll probably tweak it a little bit and start doing some things a little bit differently. The Sunday deep dives will be coming back now that I'm finished with this. The Sunday deep dives are coming back. So, and I love doing those. And that's been kind of my gateway into learning a little bit more as well. Because, I've had to study for those. Some things I know and I just have to organize my thoughts. But yeah, I enjoy creating the scripts for those and doing the voiceovers. That's really fun for me. And getting the imagery to keep you engaged as I'm telling you, that's kind of, I like doing stuff like that. But yeah, I'll continue to do that because I really like doing those videos. So I'll keep that going. And we'll just keep going and mixing things up over here at Leap Taken. And I'll be taking my liberties over on the other channel and doing some other interesting things and kind of using that as a true creative outlet that I initially planned for it to be. Where I'm real, it's not fake, or, I'm not being fake or anything like that, but I get to share more of the doing aspect of cottage witchery and hearth magic and all that sort of stuff. All right, so I'm done talking. Speaking of hearth witchery, I have some hearth activities to tend to, so I'm going to go. And I appreciate you all. Insky, thank you for talking to me. And yeah, I started late today and I popped on. That's another thing. I'm probably going to start coming on here a little later in the day. It works for me. I think I like coming late. Yeah, we'll see. But I think, I'm going to, and on Fridays as well for the witchy review, I think I'm going to be doing that late in the day. I like that. And I have more of my day, earlier part of the day, obviously to work on some of my studies that I'm doing for myself, and for writing. And for writing. Because one thing I've learned is I have to, if I want to call myself an author and I want to say I'm a writer first, I need to treat it like a real work and not just fitting it around everything else. And that has been an issue. And I've known that, but it's been so hard to to discipline myself to do it differently. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. To just to stay disciplined has been hard. I hate that for me, and I'm so hard on myself. And if I don't follow up with my own list of things to do, my own goals, I feel at the end of the day, I have felt I'm not doing this anymore, but I was doing this for a while. I felt horrible about myself. And I just felt like something's wrong with me. I'm not getting enough done. Why can't I do it? Why am I wasting time? And then I was like, okay, I'm just not going to talk to people. And I'm just going to, shut myself off from people so I don't get distracted, which is silly. And then I'm still scrolling because I'm like running away from responsibilities at the same time. It was just a cycle of just like not good, just negativity. And I was doing work to get me out of that headspace. And it took, I'm of the mind, I know I don't like this. It's like, if you're eating not great for your body, and you don't feel good about it, like physically you don't feel good about it. You're eating stuff like, if you're not supposed to be eating dairy and you're eating it all the time because it's a comfort thing, like that. The procrastination spiral can get so bad. I feel that, yes, it can. And I was in it because this was supposed to be done months ago. I took a hiatus from my own work. And then when you go too long, you got to put yourself back in from the beginning. And it takes longer because I got to start at the top and remember where was I going with this? I had an outline, and then I'm tweaking things as I go. And yeah, it shouldn't have taken me that long to do this for my own personal goals. But I allowed, the main distraction was the dang on phone. I'm not going to hold y'all. It was really just too much. It's addictive. Listen, if it's addicted to me, I know these kids are struggling. I know they're going through it, and I feel for them. The whole thing is designed to keep feeding you, but not me, not anymore. Well, not as much. I'm still on there. I mean, my goal is to put out more content than constantly consuming others. And then I'm inspired and I don't do anything with it because I'm on to the next one. You don't even really soak it all in. That's why I'm like, hey, and another thing that I do for myself is I stay more here on YouTube. And that has been helpful with keeping in long form content. Even if it's something where I just have it on the background or something like that. Whereas like this, a video where you're talking, and if they say, oh, look at this, I'll look for a moment. If I'm doing something, like I'll have it on a TV. This has been super helpful instead of, constantly just scrolling. And having like my Kindle versus my iPad is also super helpful. I think I want to treat myself to it in case. But anyway, this is the case. Having the Kindle, because I don't use my Kindle with other apps. I just use it strictly for reading. So my brain knows that, so I don't try to do too much more. You know what I mean? Like, but with my iPad, I can get the other apps. So, but my iPad is the fun thing. That's for games. I have like I do notes and stuff like that on there. Anyway, why am I talking about this? That's enough of that. All right, so I'm excited. Do your own, design your semester. If you are brave enough, or if you're interested, even if you don't know if you're going to do it, let me know in the comments. What do you think you would build your semester with? Like, what are your courses? What would you do? So I've shared mine: universal laws and manifesting, vegan and vegetarian, cooking with the emphasis on baking, herbalism, Arizona culture, but before the others came, or the fight once they did come. And I want to learn about indigenous rituals. So there's a spiritual component to that, and academic, what I'm calling academic magic as well. So I'm going to be studying a little bit of mythology, little historical things, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. All right. So I'm done. Now I'm done. All right. Thank y'all. Bye. Like, subscribe, share all the YouTube stuff. Go to my website, check out the books that I talked about, my grimoires, if you're interested. Or again, you can go to Amazon as well and purchase those. All right. Now I'm done. All right. Bye.